हेलो एवरीवन, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। वेलकम बैक टू स्टडी विद मेमूना। क्या हाल चाल आप सबका? आप ठीक ठाक हैं, खुशहाल है अपने घर में? So today's lesson will be on business studies, and I'm pretty sure you're all so excited and so ready to learn something new today. So basically today's lesson is about business. I'll be talking about 2 or 3 chapters. In first bit, I'm just going to show my hard bag and go through it. बस आप सबके साथ शेयर करूँगी मैं. और secondly, मैं आप सबके साथ assessing business and markets and prices of. So this is a very interesting topic to talk about, and as well as that, मैं आप सबके साथ में एक डिटेल सी डिस्क्रिप्शन के साथ आपको समझाऊंगी और सिखाऊंगी. जैसे कि आप देख सकते हैं, ये है मेरा स्टडी मटेरियल. दिस इज़ माय स्टडी मटेरियल. आई हैव सम हाइलाइटर्स, सम पेन्स, सम highlighters, yeah, and my notebook and my calculator. Here I am going to start off. So guys, जैसे कि आप देख सकते हैं, यहाँ पर है चैप्टर 20 और मैं बस क्विक सा रिव्यू दे रही हूँ. मेरी टीचर हमेशा कहती है कि जूनियर सर्ट शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन लिख दो अगर कोई इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन आता है, या फिर NA लिख दें उसके साइड, या फिर एक बड़ा सा स्टार कर दें ताकि आपको रिमेंबर रहे कि आपके एग्ज़ाम के लिए बहुत ही ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है. आपको रिवाइज करने में हेल्प हो जाएगी. एंड फाइनली लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट पेज. EX works. The buyer must pay for the transportation of the goods from the factory. CWO, cash with order, payment for the goods is required at the time of ordering the goods. COD, cash on delivery, payments for the good is required when the goods are delivered. प्लीज़ आप इसे नोट कर लें क्योंकि ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा important key terms है of this sale. So here I'm going to talk about chapter review. It's about inquiry. So basically this is what I do. I take every single key terms जो chapter में होते हैं, key terms उसे मैं लेती हूँ and I just jot them down on the paper. And my teacher sort of gives me the full sentences for these key terms. So it's very helpful for me and my classmates and all the students in my year. So अगर आपको भी ऐसी कोई help चाहिए तो आप इसमें से notes पढ़ लिए. मैं पूरा नहीं पढ़ूँगी क्योंकि it takes time. आपके सामने है नोट्स, ट्रेड डिस्काउंट, कैश डिस्काउंट, ऑर्डर, डिलीवरी डॉकेट, इनवॉइस. बेसिकली ये बायर एंड सेलर की जो डिफरेंस होता है, it's about that. It's very simple and straightforward to follow. So that's just a chapter review, just like a quick chapter review. And this is what I do. I use a yellow highlighter or a pink or green, any highlighter. Well, yellow is my favorite one, so I use that. बेसिकली जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ होती है मैं उसको हाईलाइट करती हूँ ताकि मुझे रिमेंबर रहे. एंड व्हेन देयर इज़ लाइक एग्ज़ाम्स और मिनी टेस्ट कमिंग अप लाइक असाइनमेंट्स, देन इट्स ईजियर फॉर मी टू रिमेंबर and to like remember for my exams and assignments, and just go over through the notes and remember the key main points and learn them all off by heart and try to understand them basically. So basically business studies जो है, it involves a lot of key terms that you have to actually learn all of by heart, or sometimes it's like you can make up the sentence by yourself, so if it is understandable to you. For example, take as order is a written request from a buyer to a seller to purchase certain goods. That is very straightforward and understandable. Let's go over its inquiry, terms, conditions, carriage, paid, trade discount. It's all written over there. If you need extra notes, just take them down. And the end bits are credit note, debit note, and the statement of account. You don't really have to learn these ones. Like आपको याद करना ज़रूरी नहीं है, but इसको आप शॉर्ट एंड फॉर्म में कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, डेब्ट नोट इज़ अ document sent by the seller to the customer. Simple as that. You don't need to go into much detail. If you want to, you can. But when you're writing it in exam, you have to actually go into detail. If you don't, then you actually lose marks. You actually lose quite a lot of marks because the examiner checks if you have a lot of detail, then it gives full marks. सो यहाँ जैसे कि आप सब देख सकते हैं ये ट्रेडिंग लॉस प्रॉफिट अकाउंट यहाँ पर हम क्लास में बैठ के ड्रॉ करते हैं फिर नंबर्स लिखते हैं सब जस्ट लाइक सब्ट्रैक्टिंग एडिंग स्टफ लाइक दैट वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड ये शायद मैं प्रीवियस वीडियोस में आपको सिखाई भी हूँ उसे कि इसे कैसे करते हैं Let's start our new chapter, that is assessing the business. Chapter 25. Who is interested in monitoring the performance of a business? Owners, managers, banks, employees, supplies, revenue. Number 1 is profitability. Higher, the better. How much profit is the business generating? This is a question. This is a good indicator of how well the business is being managed and its ability to survive and grow. Formula number 1. Gross profit percentage. How do you calculate it? Gross profit over 100 over 1. Sales. Very simple and very straightforward. At the moment, I don't have the question sheet. Number 2. Net profit percentage. Formula. Net profit over sales, 100 over 1. You multiply it, and there you got your percentage. Always use your calculator. Net profit, gross profit, they're same, but just you have to change into net and gross. So, number 3. Return on capital employed, which is in short form OCE. Return on capital employed. Formula. Net profit, capital employed, times by 100 over 1. And there you go. You've got your return on capital employed. So this is about profitability, and I've showed you all the formulas, the 3 formulas that you have to learn all of by heart. And this can be used in your balance sheet accounting, as it is very helpful and it is very easily calculated. Number 2, liquidity. Can the business pay its short-term debts? If a firm has poor cash flow, it may struggle to be able to pay its debts on time. Liquidity. Simple and easy way to learn it. Ease with which a business can pay its bills. And the 2 most important ratios that you have to learn. Current ratio, asset test ratio. You have to learn the both formulas. Asset test ratio contains 2 formulas. So the very first formula for this asset test ratio is current assets minus closing stock over current liabilities. And there you go, you get your percentage. Simple as that. The good results is 1.1, 12.1, 3.1, and so on. Current ratios is the working capital ratio. The formula is current assets over current liabilities. And you get your percentage, the number. The good results are written. If you get below that or higher than that, that means it's not a good result. Insolvency, liabilities are greater than assets. Simple as that, very straightforward to understand. So here what I do is I use a highlighter to highlight the most important things so that I can remember. So here I'm highlighting good results. You actually have to know the numbers too, so it's very important. And you have to learn all the formulas. Number 3 is gearing. Can the business repay its long-term debts? Business with large amounts of long-term debts need to be able to generate sufficiency profits to pay off their loans. So that's gearing. If you don't understand, please let me know in the comments below. Here, as you all may see, I have done some of the equations on the next page. And okay, so as you all may see, this is debt capital, long-term loans, and equality capitals, and ordinary shares capitals plus retained earnings times by 100 over 1. Long-term loans over reserves plus ordinary shares times by 100 over 1. That's the formula for gearing. Profitability, liquidity, and gearing. So here we've got 3 main key terms that we have to learn, and the formulas too. That is profitability, liquidity, and gearing. So here I've got a question. Sales, it tells all the numbers that I have to use. By the way, this is a different question on the right that I've done, and there are the different answers. So U1, gross profit over sales times by 100 over 1 is 45,000. 1,500,000 times by 100 over 1, and that is 30%. If you don't have a calculator, why not? Use your phones. Your phone has a calculator too. It's very easy and handy, but I prefer calculator because it's the best. Very easy and very straightforward. अगर आपको कोई हेल्प चाहिए इसमें, या फिर आपको कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है, तो प्लीज़ मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में लिखना बिल्कुल ना भूलें. अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छी लगी, गिव अ बिग थम्स अप और इसे काइंडली एंड तक वॉच करें. देख सकते हैं आप, नेट प्रॉफिट के लिए भी मैं सेम सोल्यूशन एंड फार्मूला यूज़ कर रही हूँ, और साथ ही साथ रिटेन ऑन कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयमेंट के लिए भी सेम फार्मूला है. सो बस आपको फार्मूला यूज़ करना है ईच एंड एवरी सिंगल क्वेश्चन के लिए, and you get an answer. Current ratio, इसके लिए भी आपको सेम फॉर्मूला यूज़ कर रहा है. करंट एसेट्स एंड करंट लाइबिलिटीज़. यहाँ पर एसेट टेस्ट रेशियो एंड गियरिंग. एंड फाइनली ये है मेरा क्लास वर्क, यानी वैसे क्लास में कर रही हूँ. Net profit, ROCH, liquidity, and every single bit of that. देख सकते हैं आप. Okay, guys, so let's start another chapter, and that is markets and prices economics. So, basically, this is about marketing, economics, competitive market. Since ये बिजनेस में मेरा सबसे फेवरेट चैप्टर है, सो आई एम शेयरिंग विथ यू. It's so informative and so easy to learn. वैसे मैं यहाँ आप सबको दिखा दूँ कि मैं आप सबके साथ अभी इस वक्त profitability and liquidity and gearing. I'm just going back over. And now let's start another chapter. What is marketing? Basically, market exists where buyers and sellers can communicate and exchange goods for money. तो बेसिकली इसका मीनिंग ये है कि जो बायर्स एंड सेलर्स होते हैं वो कम्युनिकेट करते हैं और एक्सचेंज करते हैं अपने गुड्स फॉर मनी. यानी गुड्स जो है उनके सेल करने के लिए आते हैं लोग मार्केट्स में. एग्जांपल ले लें, रिटेल मार्केट, हाउसिंग मार्केट, कार मार्केट. Car market consists of buyers and sellers of car within the car market. There are specific market segments, such as the market for new cars and the market for second-hand cars, as well as different types. Now, this means that basically जो buyers and sellers होते हैं cars के, वो लोग सिर्फ within the car market exchange कर सकते हैं. बट एक स्पेसिफिक मार्केट सेगमेंट्स होते हैं, सच इज मार्केट फॉर न्यू कार्स, नए कार्स के लिए जो मार्केट्स होते हैं, एंड अदर मार्केट्स, बट देर ऑल्सो कार मार्केट्स फॉर सेकेंड हैंड कार्स एज वेल एज डिफरेंट टाइप्स. तो डिफरेंट टाइप्स के होते हैं. सेकेंड हैंड टाइप्स होते हैं, ब्रांड न्यू होते हैं. जैसे एग्जांपल ले लें 2017 में मर्सिडीज़ है, और आई डोंट नो व्हाट एल्स इज देयर, बट यू नो देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ कार्स एंड मार्केटिंग. So it's all different. So let's go on to competitive market. A competitive market exists where there are lots of sellers supplying similar goods who can easily enter and leave the market. There are also lots of buyers willing to buy. Example would be supermarket, Tesco, Dunn store. So any supermarket near to your locals. How do firms in competitive markets compete? Firms in competitive markets compete for customers by adjusting their marketing mix in different ways. So basically, there are 4 P's that are very important, and they are product, price, promotion, place. Now, these are the key terms that you actually have to learn by heart. So, the product, where is it from? Price of the product, and the promotion. So, the name of the product, price, promotion, place. The next is I did some classwork. Basically, you have to pick a superstore that was near you. So I said Tesco's, Aldi, and there were a few questions that I had to answer that my teacher told me to, and the whole class. Advantages of competitive markets: low prices for consumers as a result of increased competition, improved choice, and customer service as films compete to win customers. Improved efficiency as business make economic decisions that allocate their resources of efficiency as possible. So disadvantages a competitive market. There may be limited economics of scale, and NB is economics of scale are the reductions in costs that results from producing goods in large quantities. There may be limited economics of sale, and if there are too many competitors in market, this may reduce innovation. So these are the disadvantages. Yani ye hai disadvantages, and on the top there are the advantages. So you have to learn all this too. It's very interesting the way the competitive market is. And now here we're gonna look at demand and supply. This is also very interesting, and I'll go step by step. Equilibrium price is where demand and supply are equal. So demand, this is what my teacher told me, so it is easier for us as students to remember. He said supply, take it as a Superman that goes up, so always the supplies arrow goes up, and demand is for down, so that arrow goes down. So there we go, we have an X, and on the middle, that's the equilibrium point. That's the price scale on the left hand, and the right hand corner, that's the quantity. Price number 1, quantity number 1. Very simple and easy. As you may see on scenario 1, a cold winter causes an increase in the demand of oil. So basically supply goes up, demand also goes up. Graph explained. Increase in demand for oil causes a shift to the right to D1, demand 1. This leads to a new equilibrium, E2, plus higher price, price 2, plus higher quantity, demand quantity. So as y'all may see, this is a scenario 2. The release of a new range of cheap electric cars causes a fail in demand for oil. And the demand, it goes down. Supply goes up as usual. an equilibrium. That's the scenario 3. So quantity 1 and the quantity 2 shift to the right as supply increases from S to S. A new shift to right equilibrium is formed from E1 to E2, as you all may see in the graph. Price has decreased from price 1 to price 2. That's when the demand goes down, so the price has also been decreased. Quantity has increased from quantity 1 to quantity 2. Scenario 4. A major war in the Middle East reduces the supply of oil worldwide by 30%. As supply decreases from S1 to S, an equilibrium is formed from E1 to E2. Price has increased, price 1 to price 2. Quantity has decreased from quantity 1 to quantity 2. As you all may see in the graph, E1, E2, quantity 1, quantity 2, price 1, price 2, supply curve, demand curve, price, and the quantity units. So in here, I'm going to go through all markets: competitive, monopoly, monopoly. Monopoly exists where there is only one seller in the market. As a result, the seller has a lot of power over setting prices. Take an example as the Irish Rail. An monopoly is a market that is dominated by a few very large supplies. Example, mobile phone market in Ireland. Possible advantages of monopoly and oligopoly markets: economic scale, secure employment. Economic scale: fewer and larger supplies may be able to take advantage of economic of scale and reduced costs. Employees who work for monopolies and oligopolies tend to have more secure jobs. Possible disadvantages: high prices without competition. Monopolies often change high prices. No innovation without competition. Monopolies and oligopolies may not be very good at being innovative or using their resources efficiently. Here on the next page, creating more competitive markets. The Competition Consumer Protection Commission, CCPC, which stands for Competition Consumer Protection Commission, is the state agency responsible for promoting fair competition in the marketplace and promoting the interest of consumers. It can prosecute business that engage in unfair competition. Deregulation, no market liberalization, is where government removal barriers such as laws or restrictions in the market in order to make it easier for new supplies to compete. So that's done. I hope you learned something new. And if did, then please give a big like to this video. And also don't forget to comment, share my videos, and if new to my channel, subscribe. Till then everyone, take care. Allah Hafiz. Stay safe, stay tuned. Bye everyone.